A lot of people think turning 18 is some kind of magical boundary. The clock strikes 12 a.m. and boom, you're now an adult. You can now legally vote, sign contracts, join the military, or do whatever you want without your parents' permission. You feel like everything will be changed when you turn 18. But the truth is, nothing really changes. If you're playing World of Warcraft at 11:30 p.m. before your birthday, nothing's gonna change when you're still playing it at 12:30 a.m. That's why the real change comes from you realizing that you should start making your own decisions in your life. 18 was my turning point. Not because my ID card was changed or I could go to a bar, but because I made a deliberate decision to leave my hometown and study abroad in Singapore. But why did I make this decision? Because for the first 17 years of my life, I had lived in a comfortable and predictable world. My parents were taking great care of me, so the only thing I had to worry about was my school grades. And since I was quite good at school, there weren't many challenges in my life. All I had to do was to follow my routine and be completely sheltered inside a comfort bubble. My life was going in a straight line, but I started feeling uneasy as I was approaching 18. That sense of unease came from a realization when I tried to imagine my future self after 5 or 10 years. I tried to imagine who I would be or what I would do, but to my shock, I couldn't imagine anything. The only thing I could imagine was me living in the same house, still being taken care by my parents. And this was when I realized I had been sedate in my comfort bubble for far too long, that I was losing my ability to build my own path. The only way to break out of this comfort bubble was to study abroad, where I could live and manage my own life in a whole new environment. So what better time to make a change than at 18? Of course, moving to a new environment wouldn't fix your problem instantly. I didn't transform from a sheltered kid to a whole new independent person the day I set foot in a new country. In fact, I wouldn't say I'm the latter by now, because I'm not. Instead, it was when my turning point truly began. For the first time in my life, I was completely on my own. My parents wouldn't always be there for me, so I had to figure out pretty much everything by myself, such as how to organize my dorm room, how to manage my finances, or how to even navigate the transit system. And to be frank, all of these things were quite difficult for me for the first couple of months. There were times I messed up even with the tiniest things, such as being unable to open a bank account because I forgot to collect and hand in my document. Not only that, my whole social circle had been completely reset. None of my original friends were around me, so I had to build my social network from scratch by talking to people with different cultures, languages, and value systems. And because my cultural awareness was not yet strong enough, there were times I offended people unintentionally. But as time went on, I started being able to overcome these challenges one by one. There were some difficulties that I thought were scary at first, but now it's just a minor inconvenience. More importantly, I became less ignorant. When I first started eating at the local hawker centers, I had no idea that I needed to separate the halal and non-halal food trays when I was returning them, because I didn't even know what difference were. It wasn't until a local reminded me of the differences that I learned a lesson, and I believe all of this is necessary for my growth. I feel like I'm being further and further away from a 70-year-old self who was trapped in a safe harbor, which is a great thing. But the transformation didn't just happen with my ability to take care of myself and my cultural awareness. It also happened with my mindset. I stopped taking everything for granted. I was so used to living in my comfortable home that I subconsciously thought this was just part of anyone's normal life. But when I had the chance to talk with more people from all walks of life, I realized the things I'm having aren't necessarily shared by other people. For example, I'm able to have my own room where I won't be disturbed by my parents when I'm studying or playing video games. This seems like a normal thing to have, right? But this wasn't the case for one of my friends. Because there wasn't enough space at his house, his parents had to put a printer in his room. Every time his parents needed to print some documents, they had to come to his room and collect them, which would certainly cause more disturbance than usual. I also heard foreign workers usually live with multiple people because of the expensive rent, which would certainly diminish their personal space. And hearing other stories was just the tip of the iceberg. My own experience also made me realize that not everything comes as easily as it seems. Back in my room, I have a decent setup for my desk. I got a modern desk-like, a big monitor, and a few drawers that give me ample space to put random items, which I thought was pretty basic. But when I had a chance to buy most things myself since my parents weren't around, I finally understood the idea of everything comes with a price. All the little things in my desk have a hidden cost, which might not be affordable to everyone. The costs were not just visible to me because my parents worked hard to buy me the things I need. This shift in mindset made me understand that many things I've taken for granted in life might be a luxury to other people. Nothing in life is guaranteed, and you have to actively take charge of the future. So with this new mindset, I've become more motivated to set up my personal and career goals than before. My primary career goals are to gain hands-on experience and figure out what kinds of jobs I prefer. To do this, I've been taking up different kinds of gigs and projects to maximize maximize my exposure to different fields of work. As for my personal goal, I want to improve my storytelling abilities. Jensen Huang once said, the ability to tell a story for an audience will remain just as important in the future as it is today. And I also believe this will be a valuable human skill that cannot be replaced by AI, no matter how advanced it will become in the future. And that's why I'm starting this YouTube channel. By creating content, I can improve my ability to present my unique story and experience to the audience. So all of this is exactly why 18 is my turning point. From deciding to get out of my comfort zone by studying abroad and experiencing drastic changes in my lifestyle and mindset, to setting up my own goals because of the change. This didn't magically just happen because I turned 18, but because I realized it was time to stop living my life on autopilot and take control of it. Thanks for watching. This is Mr. Machine.